press record. All right. Yo, what's good, YouTube? This your boy Kurt, Wealth and Fitness Lifestyle. Do me a favor if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, the notification bell to get future content. And also do me a favor, smash that like button. We actually got a good topic for you tonight. I got some guests here with me. I'm going to let them introduce themselves in a minute. But first, thank you everybody for tuning into the Wealth and Fitness Lifestyle channel. So today's topic we're going to talk about is stock market investing 101. You know, what you should understand and learn about stock market investment if you're a novice, if you're a beginner to the process. So here I have some really close friends with me. I have Kristian Sawyers and I also have Tina Jones. You guys have seen Tina on my videos before. We did an interview before and she's been in some of my vlogs. And just to highlight Kristian over here, you know, my promotional video, you know, I didn't come this far to only come this far. Kristian actually filmed that. So he's really, really good with the video, you know, editing and photography on that. So I want to shout out and thank Kristian for supporting me with that. So what I want to do at this point is I want to allow the two panelists to introduce themselves, tell a little bit about their background, and then we're going to kind of talk a little bit about, you know, stock market investing, and we're going to take you through a step-by-step process for key things that you should understand. So let me let Tina Jones introduce herself first. Tina, talk to the crowd.
Well, hello everyone. My name is Tina Jones, and I am from Brooklyn, New York. I attended Virginia State University, in which I received my undergraduate degree in interdisciplinary studies, and then I continued my education at Virginia State as well, and earned a master's in counselor education. Right now, I work in education. Um, I have a certification in school counseling. I am a high school 11th grade college and career readiness teacher slash counselor. I've been in education since I've been in high school. I've always wanted to work in education. It's always been a passion of mine. Each one teach one. I want to be able to make differences and change lives on a daily basis. Um, I love what I do. And which leads me to my next adventure. Or if I ever make it big in the stock world, I still want to work and definitely uplift our younger generation, especially African American students. My goal is to really educate our kids about HBCUs. If you don't know what that is, it's historically Black colleges, universities. We need more of that. Attending school in New York City, I feel as though I wasn't really educated about HBCUs when I was in high school. A lot of schools don't really encourage the students to think outside and go to and attend HBCUs. They really encourage them to stay in New York, but it's really good to just get out there and familiarize yourself with other people and just know that there are schools out there for us. So just basically just trying to uplift the youth. And I do a lot of community work in Jersey City. I take a lot of students on HBCU tours. So I'm very involved. So that's what I do. And now my next adventure is basically trying to educate people about the stock market. I am still learning about it. I'm not going to say I'm at that advanced. I have been doing very well within the past year, but there's always room for growth. And basically, what I do now is just try to educate my fellow peers on Facebook about the market. And I run a class called Stock Market for Beginners, T-Rock Stocks. So that's what I do.
Great, great. Thank you, Tina, for that lovely introduction. I'm going to pass it over to Kristian. Kristian, tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, who you are, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, Tina, that was amazing. So
Thank you.
that's hard to follow up. But yeah, Kurt, man, thanks so much for having me. My name is Kristian. I'm a financial literacy coach specializing in credit and long-term investment strategy. I also work in corporate America as a certified information systems security professional. I've known Kurt a long time, and I'm just happy to be a part of a platform to share any insight to help the audience get started with their investing journey. I'd also like to throw in a disclaimer that I am not a financial advisor, and any information that we share on this platform should strictly be used for informational purposes. Investing has considerable risk. Please do your own research and consult with a financial advisor before making any investment decisions.
I definitely want to attest to that. I forgot to leave that piece, say that piece as well. I'm also not a financial advisor. I'm not an analyst, so you have to do your own due diligence and invest at your own risk. Thank you,
All right. Well,
Christian.
thank you, Tina and Christian. So, what I want to do is, this whole concept about stock market investing, how to get started. We know that, investing in stock market could potentially impact our financial, future in terms of building wealth for you, your family, and your legacy. So, I want to actually start with Christian. If I'm, new to the stock market, understanding how the stock market works, talk to me a little bit about how to begin, like where do I go, how do I get started, because I think that's a burning question for a lot of people out there who's trying to understand the concepts about stock market investing.
That's a great question, and definitely the topic of the night. I know lately a lot of YouTube pages and Instagram pages have been coming up with all different types of strategies to get rich quick. But Kurt, I really want to highlight that we should understand the why. Investing is easy. It's the discipline and the proper mindset that's difficult. So how to get started investing in the stock market? It's an amazing topic, but like I said, I think it's important to capture the why. So why should you invest? Like, why is this important? The why is going to be what will keep you going. So the reasons may be slightly different from person to person, but the ultimate goal, I would hope for everyone, is freedom. The freedom to spend time with your family, the freedom to do what we want to do when we want to do it, with who we want to do it with, and wherever we want to do it in the world. That freedom, it has a price tag, and it's not cheap. So I really like to challenge anyone watching to determine how much freedom costs for you. Like, retirement is not an age, it's a number. So what would it cost for you to walk away from your job or your business and live life on your own terms? So you should write down in the comment section what you think that your number is. But to add to that, once you find that number, you have to really become obsessed with it. It should become a part of you. It should be the first number you think about when you wake up, and the last one you think about when you go to sleep. So you have to let it drive your decision making and develop a plan to contribute to your freedom fund consistently, without fail, every single month. You got to treat it like a bill. This is going to be your most important bill. This is going to be more important than your rent, more important than your internet, more important than your cell phone. You got to pay yourself first, or your future self first, rather, before anyone else gets paid. Once you have the appropriate mindset for this, investing is easy. It's easy. It becomes easy because your actions become a means of achieving your ultimate goal, which is freedom.
And Chris,
So,
your
say
future
again.
your future self will thank you later.
Yes, yes. Talk that. But yeah, there are many ways of achieving the freedom you desire. Business, real estate, stock market. But keeping cash in a savings account will get you nowhere fast. In fact, you're losing money because the interest most savings accounts yield is far lower than inflation. And if you keep your cash under a mattress, you're doing even worse. So I think it's really important to create this distinction so folks can really be purposeful with their actions. Too often I'm seeing retail investors opening up Robinhood accounts to play around in the stock market. But once freedom becomes the goal, then we can move away from playing and gambling to creating a plan and sticking to our plan in order to build wealth. So that's my spiel, just to kind of get us started, because I really, before we even get into the technical aspects of what you should do and what you shouldn't do, I really want people to focus on the why, like why you should be investing, why you should be building wealth. Like, too many times, people of color are not saving, and they're not investing, and by the time they retire, they just got to roll over and get another job. And I really want to drive home the fact that if you don't learn this or commit yourself to investing in some way, you will work forever.
Mm. That was powerful, Christian. That was real powerful. And let me just shout out before I go to Tina. Let me just shout out. Look at this background, ladies and gentlemen. It says, just this movie, get shit done. I like that. I like that on this wall. So Tina, talk a little bit about, and Christian did a wonderful introduction and segue in talking about your why. Talk to a little bit about, your perspective of the stock market. If you're a beginner, if you're a novice at this, where do you go? What do you do? How do you get started?
Well, first, I would like to say yes, Christian is definitely 100% correct. I agree with everything that he said because you need to figure out your why. Like I figured out my why literally in the beginning of January. When I first started in the stock market, actually started taking it serious, which was last year. I really didn't have no idea what I was doing. I took a few L's. I just pretty much jumped out there, but I also invested in someone else trying to educate myself a little bit more. But you really have to do it at the right time and at the right pace. You can't chase stocks. Like it's not a get rich quick scheme. I learned that. I learned all of those things. I'm still learning it, you know. So in the beginning of January, I realized that you really have to take time out to really educate yourself if you want to make money and you want to live financially free. My why is one, I realized since I have a passion for education, I still want to work. But guess what I don't want to do? I don't want to pay a mortgage for the rest of my 30 years. I don't want to pay off my student loan debt because that's what ties us up. I don't want to pay a car note forever. So my why is I come up with an amount that I feel comfortable. Once I pay off my debt, the money that I make at work is the money that I'm just using. So whether I'm investing it or not, like my goal is I made a number, I created a number, and that's what I want to get to. Once I get to that, I'm financially free right there because whatever I make after that is coming all to me. I'm not paying Peter, Paul, or Robin, you know? So once I figured that out, I realized that this is what I'm going to do to work towards it. Before I get into the class part of it, I set a goal in the beginning of the year I want to reach by this year, I want to reach by to 50K in investing, right? Um, I am now 40K in investing, and I decided that I moved it up to 100K by the end of 2021. I'm challenging myself every few weeks or every month. Okay, I need to do this. I need to do that. If I can make this amount a day, last year I decided that okay, if you make about $300 a day, that's 100,000 a year. That's an additional income on top of your current income. If you look at it like that, then you'll work harder towards it. So after I decided that piece, I started getting very good at it. I had seen Christian a few weeks ago, and I had jumped tremendously in the past 2 days. I made like 12K, not even on options or anything, like just consistently just watching stuff grow. He did educate me about a certain app to use. I'm still learning that, but it's always good to talk to people that's like-minded like you so that you can just learn more because everybody has something to bring to the table. I don't have all the answers. And, unfortunately, we are in a place where I don't know about you guys, but I didn't know nothing about this stock market really growing up. If now I know better, I do better. So when I have kids, they're going to start as soon as they come out the womb, they're going to be investing, because it's just like, I don't want to pay tuition for my kids. I want them to go to school and start right away so that they don't have to worry about that. At 18 years old, kids shouldn't have to worry about getting out the house right away. Because really, are you really mentally ready to live on your own at 18? I know I wasn't, but some people so quick to kick their kids out at 18 and you have no direction of where you want to go, what you want to do. So it's more so, teaching the youth and just like even my students, I teach them about, um, credit scores and things like that. If you don't have a good credit score, if you mess about the back, it's hard for you to get back, or student loan debt. Unfortunately, when you in school, you just signing all these documents, but they don't tell you the fine print. We thinking, oh, these refund checks is coming to us, and it's really not. Now, if them $10,000 refund checks I was getting in grad school, granted, it helped me pay my bills because some grad school programs don't allow you to work while you're in grad school. But I could have took that 10,000 and turned it into 200,000 when I was back in grad school, and that was like 10 years ago. But I can't turn back the hands in time, but I'm doing better now. So what I do now is I'm just going to share my screen. So I
Go ahead,
created
Tina, share your screen. I think, yeah,
okay.
share your screen.
So I created a class and we came up with a name, and the name is T-Rock Stocks. Basically stock market for beginners. So I'm just going to briefly go through the presentation. Just basically, this is what I go through in my class. as you can see, my lovely pic. The picture is when I posted my first class I held on January 12th. I realized that sometimes you can't give out this information for free. So in order to educate people, people have to invest something to get something. And I made this nice PowerPoint, very active. I go over what the stock market is. I explain the stock market. We talk about stocks, the different indexes. We go over the market hours and pre-market hours. When should you trade? How much money you need to have in your account in order to be a day trader? Because if not, you'll be labeled a pattern day trader. I go over the different brokerage accounts that I use that I recommend. There are others out there, but I explain the different ones that I use, and I also refer them to other apps so that they want to, get more familiar when they start doing their own research. Because you have to do your own research. Don't just be putting your money out there and then, you go on based off what this person said, and then next thing you know, you mad because you followed what somebody else has said and you lost. I go over the different key terms that they should know, like annual report, averaging down, bear market, bull market, due diligence. They'll hear that term a lot. Market price, limit order, etc. So we talk about IPOs, pink sheet stocks, different, the stock symbol, volatility, volume. We talk about how your portfolio should be diverse. I go over stock splits, especially when they are investing in penny stocks. Sometimes that tends to happen a lot because the more shares you have, obviously, sometimes if the company's not doing well, they will probably do a stock split. What affects the stock market? So I feel like this is a very important fact that they should know, because sometimes they may think, oh, I'm losing. But no, you only lose when you sell your stock. Just because the market is down one day don't necessarily mean it's going to be down forever. You only miss out or lose out when you actually sell. I do touch on options just a tad bit so that they know the difference between buying a share than buying an actual contract. I don't spend too much time on it because that's not really for beginners. It's more for advanced investors. I go over the 10 most important points about stock investing. I also remind them that they don't lose money until they actually sell it when they're down. So you only lose money when you have sold it. And I do like a review. Don't be greedy. Understand, write a plan. Gains are gains. And I ask them if they have any questions, comments, or concerns. And then at the end of the presentation, I do tell them that I have a one-on-one consultation. And basically the one-on-one consultation is more so I'm working with that person one-on-one individually for maybe 1 or 2 hours. And we're going over the different apps, how to use the different brokerage accounts, how to buy a share, how to sell a share, and things like that. So that's basically what I do. And for the most part, I've been running a class for about almost a month now. I had about 15 people who logged in at different times. I host a class every Tuesday at 7 p.m. and just bringing awareness to investing. And sometimes it's foreign, but if you, like Kristian said in the beginning, make money to make more money, invest money to make more money. I think I said that correctly. So that's basically what I do. And it's all about learning. We all have this number that we want to get to. We want to be financially free. And I go over that with them during the presentation. Like, the goal, I will hope the goal for everyone is financial freedom, get your time back. You want to be able to do what you want to do. You don't want to punch a clock. It's more so living more stress-free and not have to worry about bills and, these things that we've been just dealing with all our lives, basically, so that's what I do.
Wow, Tina, that was powerful. Thank you. And what I want to do, Tina, is that your information in terms of like what you're able to help people with the stock market. I want to be able to leave in my description. I want to put your contact information for people to contact you if they're interested in getting that one-on-one coaching from you.
Oh,
And so
to add to that, I'm sorry. So if you are interested, if you are on Facebook, I do have a group called Real Ambitious Minority Pioneers. I started the group in June. We have recently grown to about 440 group members, investors, future investors, current investors. And I will say this, since I've been, hosting the classes every few weeks, I've had people who've had gains within the past 2 weeks. So they've been seeing gains. And I actually had someone who wrote a nice message. I'm just going to share it because it was really nice. And that makes me really happy that um, they joined my class, and what I taught them, they actually was like, okay, well, this is interesting, I learned a lot. And the person was basically like, I want to take a moment to outwardly say thank you to Marie Precious. Since day one, when she invited me to this group, she's been nothing but helpful, patient, and very informative. I've attended her group sessions for beginners to stock, and I must say it was a pleasant on every level. Marie is definitely in this game to win and is not hesitant to bring us with her on this journey of generational wealth and longevity. Thank you for everything. And that really made me feel like, wow, I need to continue doing this because there are people who's rooting for me and people who want to come on this journey with me and want to do it as well. And that's the most rewarding thing. That's, our people are waking up, and seeing that they're on the road to financial freedom. And I had about 32. The post reached 175 people, but I had
Oh
32.
wow,
Yeah.
that's awesome. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Congratulations,
Excellent.
man. Your
Thank
success is giving me life.
you. Thank
So
you.
I'm happy to hear that.
Thank you.
So Christian, what else you got on the topic of stock market? I mean, you had a powerful introduction and about your why.
Yeah.
Anything you want to add to this conversation? Because I think it's a real powerful conversation we're having.
Yeah. One of the things that I definitely want to get across is that the real key to building wealth is long-term investing. Like, there are a lot of people, especially in 2020, who came up large, playing with options and trading other derivative products, but the real money is in long-term investing. Like, if you have time on your side, especially if you're in your 20s, you're in your 30s, even if you're in your 40s, and you can consistently start contributing to your retirement fund on a monthly basis, the numbers can really, really surprise you. So I know that trading is really like the sexy thing that everybody wants to do. But it's important, especially if you're a short-term investor, that you are taking at least a portion of those gains and invested into long-term assets. So whether that be real estate, whether that be in the stock market, it's key for us to ensure that the money that we make, we can keep it. So I definitely want to challenge people to really, really think long and hard about long-term investing, and doing it monthly on a consistent basis without fail. It really doesn't have to be complicated. You can do dollar cost averaging, where you're just buying every first week of the month. You're buying, you know, 4 different stocks in your portfolio, say 2 index funds and 2 tech companies. And one of the strategies that I can give you is take a look at the S&P 500 and take a look at the Nasdaq and look at the top weighted companies in the Nasdaq and the S&P 500. You'd be surprised what you see up there. There actually may be some overlap, and start to dissect, why is this the largest part of the S&P 500? Why is this the largest part of the Nasdaq? There's a reason. You kind of take a look and do some fundamental analysis where you're looking at earnings per share and you're looking at growth over time. That's why these companies are at the top of the S&P 500 and at the top of the Nasdaq. And these are companies that are probably going to be strong for the next 100 years. So why wouldn't you want to tie your money up into those companies? I know a lot of people, they invest in cheaper stocks because they feel like, you know what, I want to make sure that I have a whole stock. I don't want to buy a fractional share. I'm here to tell you there's nothing wrong with fractional shares. There's nothing wrong with fractional shares. And when you invest in quality, you get quality returns. And you have to keep your portfolio simple. Keep it simple, because when you're investing in something, you need to be mentally invested in it as well. You need to be doing the appropriate research. You need to be reading about the companies that you're investing in. So if I have 20 companies that I'm investing in, you're telling me I need to be reading articles about all 20 of those companies? That's why you keep it simple. If you have 2 index funds, you get the exposure you need to the entire market, you get diversity. And then if you pair that with um, two tech stocks, that will give you a bit of an edge in the market. And this is one of the strategies that I pull from my mentor, Ian Dunlap from Market Mondays. And I've been following that ever since. And I've been seeing amazing returns. And I think it will be, I guess, the easiest thing to do to kind of wrap your mind around, especially if you're new, is just kind of stick to that plan and, write out your strategy. This year, I'm going to take X amount of trades. This year, I'm going to invest X amount of dollars, and stick to your plan. Impulsive trading is what will get your head chopped off in the stock market game. If you are, if you're looking at GameStop after hours and you're seeing it driving up 70 and 80%, and you're like, shit, I need to get into GameStop tomorrow morning. That type of impulsive behavior will get you random results, and those random results are typically going to be negative. So I definitely implore people to have a plan, create a strategy ahead of time, figure out what your entry points are going to be, and just shoot at those points, and that's it. You have to really drown out the noise. And a lot of noise is going to come from the CNBCs and the Reddits of the world. So you have to really kind of own in on what it is you're trying to accomplish, and just follow that plan for 20, 30 years. You have to really buy and have the mindset going into your trades that you're going to buy into specific companies for 20, 30 years. Shit, you should really be holding it forever. So once you have that mindset, things that come along, especially when you're investing in a quality company, you invest in a quality company, you don't have to really worry about the stock price dropping to zero overnight. Obviously, if there's a huge market crash, most companies are going to be affected by it, but quality companies should not take huge dives. And when you invest in a quality company, you don't really have to worry about, losing your money for the most part. So just kind of do your research, take a look and see what type of annualized returns some of these top companies in the S&P 500 and NASDAQ are providing. And you can kind of gauge over the next 10, 15, 20 years what your returns will look like. And after that, the rest is easy. Just invest every month. That's it.
I like that, Kristian. I like how you simply put, the rest is easy, because it is. It is. So just some final thoughts. Tina, what's your just to kind of wrap this up, because I don't want to take up too much of you guys' time, but what is your final thoughts on stock market investing for beginners?
I think that everyone should get into it at some point. I can't remember where I read this, that let's just say you work for a company for 20, 25 years and you're investing in your 401k maybe 1%. And by the time you retire, you only got 40,000. Like, you need to really think about, 40,000 is not going to get you for the rest of your life. Like, you cannot live with 40,000. So you need to start investing now. And
You
another
need to be
take,
investing like 40% of your salary, to keep it real, man. We are behind as a people. We are behind. So we need to invest more.
and I will
You
be
need to
honest.
figure out how to live on less. Just
Yes,
keep,
I think we live a lot of times we tend to live above our means or whatever, but everybody has different things, different wants, different needs in their life that they like. But I do feel like you need to start now. If you don't know anything about it, start now. Because we don't know, and you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You want to be able to live financially free. And I will hope that that's the goal for everyone. Um, but you live and you learn, and it's always a better tomorrow. You just have to start now. When you know better, you do better. So, but I do want to add to what Kristian said. I haven't decided what type of investor I am yet. I just know that I have a goal to be financially free. I do. I'm not too sure if this is a thing, being a day trader and a long-term investor,
of
because
course.
I noticed that I want to be a long-term investor and I want to be a day trader.
You can absolutely do both.
At
And you
one point,
should.
Right. At one point in time, I was like, okay, well, this day trading thing I can get with, there are people out there that actually do that as they don't have a job, they just sit at the computer all day. And that in the beginning, when I started doing that, I was like, oh, wow, this is like a high, like I could do this, but that's after you really educate yourself and you really know what you're doing. But ultimately, you just got to make sure that you educate yourself before you jump out the window and you start playing around and start chasing companies like Kristian said, GameStop. I've seen GameStop shoot up to $212 after hours. And that is a highly volatile stock to get into because one day it can be up $212 and then tomorrow.
Don't touch it.
You wake up tomorrow and you down $70-$80,
Don't touch it.
The question is people are so caught up on the instant gratification that they are not seeing the long-term by it. So it's just a matter of doing your own due diligence and, like Kristian said, investing in a company that's going to ultimately give you greater returns 10 to 15, 20 years from now. And you don't have to worry about that. So I'm just leaning towards right now. I'm leaning towards long-term, but I'm also leaning towards short-term because I have short-term goals that I would like to accomplish. Because once you accomplish your goals, like once I get to the number that I want to get to, then I can worry about putting that extra additional funds to long-term investing. Because now that you freed up all that other money, you got no choice but to put everything else into one pot. So that's where I'm at with the process. Thank you, Kirk.
And Kristian, what's your final thoughts? Thank you, Tina.
I think I keep it short. One thing I do want to say for the short-term investors who may be watching, please understand appropriate risk management, because a lot of times traders, and this is one of the things that I got from one of my favorite books, Market Wizards, but a lot of times what happens with traders is they get on this run where maybe they'll win 5-6 trades in a row, and that inflated confidence ends up causing them to risk more of their capital than they should. Realistically, if you have a pot of money, say you have $100,000 and you're a short-term investor, you should really only be risking a maximum of $2,000 per trade. If you keep your trades to a manageable size, like 2% of your capital, it keeps you in the game longer. So when you're wrong, it doesn't hurt as much. This way, you're not sizing up without the appropriate amount of capital. But I will finish off with this one thing. Knowledge is not power; it's potential power. Execution will trump knowledge every day of the week. So it's important that we take this information and we execute right away. If you have credit card debt, get rid of that debt and start investing. If you have money on the sideline right now, get that money in the market. Figure out a plan and get to it. We got to use this knowledge. We have to execute on this. We can't really just sit on our hands right now, because 30, 40 years from now, when you're looking to retire, you don't want to find another job. You want to just enjoy the rest of your life. You only got one life to live.
Oh man, that was powerful, Kristian. That was powerful. Yo, I just want to say, we talked about a lot of things in this video, and for everyone who's watching this video, the bottom line, we got to save money to invest money to make more money. And I came up with that motto as I was, on two journeys in my life, which was my weight loss journey and my journey towards financial freedom. And with my first model, get fit, gain wealth, improve your lifestyle, those are some powerful phrases right there, because improving your lifestyle it's not just with your health and fitness, but all facets of your life. You know what I'm saying? Your money management, your finances, your family, all those things are going to be key indicators of success to determine, what you accomplish in this life. And we only have one life. So I want to thank Kristian. I want to thank Tina for, being involved in this conversation and regarding, stock market investing. Hopefully we could do more of these streams, in the future with interesting topics. Let us know what you guys think about the information that we shared. Make sure that you watch this video multiple times, because there was a lot of jewels dropped in this video from Tina and Kristian that if you missed it, you need to rewatch this video again. And also too, Tina's doing, her services, her coaching. I'm going to leave a description and a link to her Facebook page and her email address. So if you guys are interested in connecting with, Tina on some one-on-one coaching, that's available. So thank you everybody so much. Do me a favor, smash that like button on the way out. Let's get fit. Let's gain wealth. Let's improve our lifestyle. Let's save money to invest money to make more
money.
We out.
Wealth and fitness, you heard?
Thank you for having us, Kurt.